video in a series of utility bills problems questions. Make sure that you've watched videos 1 and 2 before starting on this one. Let's have a look at this question then. So a company is working out their electricity bill for April, and here are the readings given to me in a table. It tells me though, and this is the difference, that they're charged one amount, 24.5p, for the first 80 units only. Then they're charged a second amount for anything else they use past 80 units in a month. So first of all, let's start by working out how many units they actually use. So I'm going to do this by doing 3622 minus 3458. This shows me that they used 164 units in the month of April. Now 80 of them were charged at one rate and the rest were charged at another. So I'm going to need to work out how many were charged at the second rate, and I'm going to do this by doing 164 minus 80, which is 84. So there are two separate calculations here. There's 80 units being charged at 24.5p, and there's 84 units being charged at 17.5p. Now I'm going to work out what the costs are for these two things individually, which is 1960p and 1470p. When I add these two together, it gives me 3,430 pence. Now I've worked in pence all the way through this calculation, but it wants me to give my answer in pounds. So I'm going to turn it into pounds, and it's £34 and 30 pence as my final answer. Here's a question for you to have a go at. Pause the video here, hit play when you're ready for the answers. Okay, in this question then, it tells me that Dave has used 213 units of gas over the month. This is quite handy because I don't need to actually work this out, it tells me in the question. It does tell me that he's charged 32.2 pence for the first 60 and then 11p for anything he uses past that. So what I'm going to need to do is take his total, which was 213, and take away these 60 units. That will show me how many he actually uses that are charged at 11p, and that tells me it's 153 units. So I have two calculations to do here. I've got 60 units being charged at 32.2 pence, and I have 153 units being charged at 11 pence. The total for this section of his bill comes to 1932p, and the total for this section of his bill comes to 1683 pence. Adding these two together gives me 3,615 pence. Now again, like in the previous example, it wants my answer in pounds, so I'm going to turn this into pounds, and it's £36 and 15 pence. Here's a second question for you to have a go at. Pause the video here, hit play when you're ready for the answers. Okay, in this question then, I'm going to need to work out how many units were actually used in the month. So I'm going to do that by calculating the difference between the start and the end of the month. So I'm going to do 56268 minus 55678. And that tells me that we used in total 590 units. Now 200 of these, the first 200, are charged at 12.6p. So I need to work out how many that leaves being charged at 6.4p. So I'm going to do 590 minus the 200, which is 390 units. So I have two different calculations here. I've got 200 units being charged 12.6 pence, and I've got 390 units being charged at 6.4p. When I multiply both of these together, I get my two totals, 2,520 pence and 2,496 pence. Adding these together gives me a grand total of 5,016p. Now again, like in the previous examples, although it doesn't say it in the question, I'm actually going to give this in terms of pounds, because you wouldn't expect a bill to say 5,016 pence. You would expect it to say £50 and 16p. And that's my final answer. Well done if you've watched the series of these 3 videos and you feel you've made progress over them. Thanks for watching.